Oki. Itamexkanatoni. Good morning. It is almost 11 o'clock in the AM on Saturn Day, the 5 of November 2022 in the lunar cycle Itatstoi when cold arrives. It's about 0 degrees outside right now, and I am just getting my day started. Both Britt and I have the weekend off. We stayed up last night and we just are sleeping in today. I've got to go check the animal house that I introduced last weekend in the Halloween prequel. Not a lot has occurred at the animal house this week. I did put the camera trap inside of the house to no effect. Never caught an animal moving around inside of there, though obviously there were at one point raccoons. So I don't know if the raccoons are even there at all anymore. I've seen no sign of them. We did have a good snow that allowed me to really look around the exterior of the house and see if there were any tracks of raccoons coming and going, and there were none. On the other hand, there was tracks of a skunk, but it wasn't coming and going very far in that first snow. It just made a loop around my trap, kind of dug in at the bait from the side, and then went back in its hole. So if the skunks aren't going very far in that snow, maybe the raccoons aren't going very far in that snow, maybe they didn't even bother coming out of the roof to go hunting and such, you know. So I don't know. I know there's still one skunk there. Haven't been able to catch him. Haven't got any other skunk or raccoon calls all week, which is not good news for me. That is actually the money that I use to pay my rent each month, my wildlife money. And so 5 days into November now, I should have already accrued in my rent envelope about $250 to be staying on target. I got to put in about $50 a day, which means I got to catch at least one small mammal and relocate one small mammal at least every other day. The fortunate thing is I do hold off on collecting the money from my snakes all year, and so when the animals really bed down, I can claim my summer money from the snakes, which will carry another couple of months rent, and then hopefully bring me far enough into the new year where I can claim my retainer for the snakes for the summer, which is another couple of months rent, and that pulls me through. But it sure would help to have some animals in my traps. Anyway, let's go across the street here and see if anything got in them last night. Just checking the snow, see if I notice anything. Nobody came into that trap. Bait's all still back in there. That's the one I was hoping to catch raccoons on, coming down from either this tree or this tree, but they could also be coming down on the fence on the other side of the house, to tell you the truth. It's hard to say where the raccoons come and go from. Oh, look, we got a skunky. Hey there, skunky. How you doing? Finally got you in my trap, did I? Alright, I gotta go get my tarp. We'll move you out of here, and we will reseal that gap and see if we catch any more, or see if anybody pushes in or out of there again overnight tonight. So this might be the end of my job here. We'll see. Anyway, we'll go release this guy, get on with the weekend. Gotta stop by the dollar store. Clean out my trap here real quick. We are rolling into Sunday morning, and as you can see, the landscape has changed. When I got home from my morning rounds yesterday, it started to like drop ice, kind of, I don't know what you'd call it. It's almost like a winter version of light hail. And then a little bit later, looking out my kitchen window, you could see it was just snowing away. So it kept that up most of the day, and me and Britt, having no work, took it as a snow day and just hung out inside, watched some shows, ate some good food, you know. I think at one point she left the house, went out to a Walmart or something with her mom and sisters, but otherwise we just were lazy, took it easy, rested up, and now this morning I got my energy back about me, and I'm ready to do some walking. See what's going on out here. Right away you can see that the deer, the white-tailed deer, no doubt have been enjoying the absence of humans. There's been one person through, there's one set of tracks, but mostly deer tracks, and they know right away when there's not people tromping around out here. They come out of the woods and come enjoy themselves a little bit. Usually the coyote too, so I shouldn't really be yapping so much. Big change since last week. You can see most of the pond is iced over already, at least lightly, with a snowpack on top of it even. So I didn't really expect that. I thought the waters would still be open arriving here today. Haven't been here for a couple of days, but hasn't been that long. Any case, it's closing up. Stopped by the animal house this morning just to check on whether or not there was Sorry about that, my one camera just died. Hope that doesn't happen to this one. I find Sony's consumer grade stuff freezes up pretty easy. I gotta keep this one in my front pocket usually, keep it warm, just to use it for short, 30-second clips at a time when it gets into real winter here. As far as fisheye lens type of cameras, the GoPro works really good in the cold. The problem with the GoPro is it sounds just always suck. They can never get the microphone right. Anyway, what was I saying? I don't know. We're gonna take a walk around the pond, see what's new here, and then I think I was saying that I checked the animal house to see if there was any skunk activity, and there wasn't. But then I went to set up a new trap at a place where there's just a fresh burrow under a shed, and there wasn't any tracks in the snow there either. And given that the other day what I saw with that skunk that we ended up catching eventually was that when it first came out to look at the trap, it didn't go foraging all over the place. It just came out to look at the trap. It didn't want to go walking in the snow. So chances are, when it's snowy like this, at least at first here, as with this early onset of winter, those animals are staying inside. they'll just wait it out, you know. Any case, yeah, let's take a walk. These beavers as well. I would expect to see some pop-outs from them working even this morning, but there's no evidence of them having been outside of the water, and I know they can break through some of that ice there. So just like the skunks, the raccoons, the beavers aren't excited to get out into the winter environment. Sure looks nice here, but their opportunities for doing so are numbered. They're gonna get shored in by the ice pretty soon. Yeah, it's interesting to me that the small mammals are all staying inside their dens with this first big dump of snow. I mean, we had a little bit of snow last week too, and I don't know how much movement they did in that, but what gets me thinking is because there's a protocol among the humans to stay inside during the first big winter snow, which is called the wolf cap, makoyisttsomoki. And it's a snow that's kind of a wet snow that sticks to the sides of everything, hey? And indeed, we're not at the right angle, but the other side of these trees is just caked with snow. You can see it on in the forest on this side, right? You don't want that wet snow caking to you. And I don't know, there might be just a lot to it, but I wonder now if that technique of staying inside when the first snow comes, which is what I've always known from the ethnographic records and stuff from the late 1800s, what the beaver men at that time were saying was, you know, they'd watch for certain indicators and then they'd know when the wolf cap was coming and tell everybody to stay indoors so they didn't get caught out in that wet snow. So I wonder if that was learned really from the animals who aren't coming out for this first wet snow. You know, the other mammals anyway. I don't know. I just found it interesting that not even the beavers are up doing anything. Well, staying indoors in the cold is definitely I shouldn't say in the cold, in the first wet snow. It's definitely not something we learn from the deer. They are out here enjoying themselves. Maybe without fear of predator. I wonder how the coyotes deal with the first snow. Whether they stay in their dens. I don't have a coyote den that I'm watching these days, or I'd go look, but just an awesome landscape. Love it. Including the drifts. See how deep this guy is. Not too bad, not too bad as yet. Whew. More deer. Lots of deer prints going up and down here, all through here. Not seeing any pheasant yet, which is cute. curious. I think I would see some pheasants, but keep going, maybe up here. Still no pheasant, but we got what's probably a meadow vole popping in and out of the subnivean zone. Most of the summer, the whitetails, some of them hung out in here with the mamas with their fawns. It's a good hiding place. Even though some people come through this area, they stick to these paths. Don't go scrubbing in the brush there. No bullberries in town this year. They all got eaten up already by the birds who didn't have any good insect resources. Like to go check out by where we harvested Saskatoons on the reserve. See if there's some nice bullberry resources out there. Not sure who this is. Looks like a small mammal. Maybe a whose feet are these? Oh, I know who it is. Jeez. Shikatsista. A black rabbit. Mountain cottontail. Jeez, I'm off my game. Seen a bunch of those rabbit trails kind of up the slope here, and thought I would come check out this anchor because it seems to be structured different than the others. And there's I noticed these window looking things. I thought maybe there was kind of a box laid in here that might be attracting animals, but not really. All right. River's getting slushy. Still got a while before I expect that to freeze up, but it'll come. Yeah, walking these coulees is not too bad a thing to do health-wise. Coming up and down these slopes, especially when the land is covered with snow like this, makes it a little more difficult. I'm feeling the cardio. This here might be coyote from last night, blown over with the time passage. But I know last time I seen a pair of coyote, it was out this way along the river island down here. You can see maybe there are some geese. I got them about center mass in the screen right now. Just a little pod. I think there's some more along the shoreline further upstream, but not seeing a lot of birds at all. The geese are probably out on the stubble fields. Christmas bird count will be coming up again. Of course, I'll be covering this section as I always do. Not a whole lot of bird activity this morning, though. There's some more geese. Just out here by this oxbow. Couldn't see them from that other angle. Gonna have to start watching out for the golden eyes. See when they arrive. Probably not till the next moon when the river's really getting frozen, but never know. The eagles should be coming back here pretty quick too. What's up, magpie? There's actually quite a bit of goose activity out here along the river. Seen a couple of pods land upstream. Here by the high level bridge, the river's already getting pretty narrow. It's just a light cover of ice creeping in. Slushy ice. There's the Opspinix. Wonder what happened to all the mallards. Probably headed over to Henderson. I'm gonna end up disturbing these guys, but I'll try to keep the disturbance light. Oh wait, I see ducks. I spy with my little eye. These the mallards. Ah, I gotta look with my monocular. Can't tell with this. It's actually a couple of mergansers, female mergansers, and they're hanging out close to the geese, not unlike golden eyes do, kind of for protection so that they can hunt along the ice shelf and not really have to pay too much attention to approaching predators like myself. Yeah, making distance. Let me by.